I am in Little York, Illinois. This is, I guess you could say, what is left of their downtown. There's not a whole lot here. Where am I in Illinois? Well, here's a map so you can see. And in population history, 1910, peak population 358. Last census down to 283. I'll just continue down this main street. I don't know if you can see that. There's an old little gas station there. A house there that's been abandoned. That one has been abandoned as well. Yeah, and I saw this earlier. It's an old elementary school. Long closed. But it's pretty obvious. Median age of the town is 31. This town is 96% white. The rest is mixed race or other. That main street I was on was once a stagecoach trail. Let me get that spit out. Yeah, this town was founded on that stagecoach trail. It was a place where people could barter for goods before they headed out west. And then eventually agriculture took foot, became the main driver of the economy here. And that remains the case to this day. Well, let's see, let me give you the median household income, $54,545 a year. That is a little over $1,000 a week. It's not too bad, is it? A lot of great old houses here. Poverty, 4.8. That is very low. Look at school-age children, 0. 65 and older, 4%. Here is the fire department. This is what looks like used to be a church. I don't think it is any longer. Cost of living here, 84, 16% lower than the rest of the U.S. You can see some new different categories there, including household items, which is a 102. Housing's lowest at 47. Well, there's certainly a lot of stuff there, isn't there? Abandoned house there. Crime here, last year, 3 incidents per 100 people. Compares to 2.1 for the U.S. So crime, a little bit high. Median home value, $81,200. And as soon as you get a couple streets away from the downtown, boom, you're in the farmland. Another look at the quiet downtown. Illinois is no slouch when it comes to agriculture, by the way. It ranks 5th in the U.S. Yeah, California is number 1, then Iowa next door, and Illinois. Little York is named after the city in England, by the way. Thought you might like to know that. Well, all right, I think I'm done here. I've driven down just about every street. Very small town. So let's head to the next one. I am in the town of Kirkwood, Illinois. Approaching their little small downtown. Not a whole lot here. Barely a wide spot in the road, it looks like. It appears this is the library. And looks like a pub or bar next door. And across a little street here, there's the post office. Well, there's that. Let me show you a map. You can see where I'm at. Population history, way back in 1880, there were 1,079 people here. That was peak population. Once in 1900 and again in 1980, it got up to 1,008 people. Last census down to 678. Yeah, that is a lot of people gone. Median age is 32. The town was founded as a railroad stop. And there's the evidence right there. And agriculture. You can see both. Like the last town, as soon as you hit about 2, maybe 3 streets out, you're into farmland. Alright, so here's the ethnic breakdown. 93% white, 4% Hispanic, 2% Asian. The rest is mixed race or other. Looks like an abandoned house there. Let me give you median household income. $67,917 a year. That's not bad. $1,306 a week. Especially with this low a cost of living, it's an 83. 17% lower than the rest of the U.S. Like the last town, household items is highest, 102. Housing's a 46. The town, when it was founded in the early 1800s, was called Young America. Later on changed to Kirkwood in honor of a former Iowa governor. His name was Samuel Kirkwood. How about if I give you poverty? 11.2 overall. School-aged children, 10%. 65 and older, 7%. Again, another town where poverty is lower than the U.S. overall. Crime last year, 2.6 incidents per 100 people. U.S. is 2.1. Crime's a little bit high. There are some beautiful old houses in this town. That is Second Empire architecture. You don't see that often in houses. Well, I might as well give you median home value, $89,100. They've got a house for sale here. This is on Southeast Street. Not sure what the number is. I'm sure someone can find it though. Look it up, post what they want for it. I'm sure we would all be interested. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it for here. Let's head to the next town. I am in Stronghurst, Illinois. Small village, like the others. Looks bigger though, doesn't it? And there's signs of life here. Quite a few cars in the parking lots. It is a Thursday. It is the first Thursday in May. I can't remember the exact date. There's the post office. Stronghurst, Illinois. Yeah, this town, again, founded by the railroad, and its economy revolves around agriculture now. Here's a map. See where I'm at. And then population history. Peak population 896, that was in the year 2000. Last census 833. This town's hanging around a bit. It's not really dropping in population a lot. That is the Bank of Stronghurst. Because of this bank, this town is something of a banking center for this part of the state. There's their fire department. And I'm going to drive into some neighborhoods. Median age is 38, so 1 year younger than the U.S. median age of 39. 96% of this town is white. The rest is mixed race or other. Median household income $59,375 a year. It's about $11.40 a week. Cost of living is only an 83, 17% lower than the rest of the U.S. Household items, again, 102, the highest. Housing's 46. They've got a city park here. They've got some stuff in this town. Poverty 14.9 overall. School-aged children 15, 65 and older 15 as well. So poverty's creeped up a little bit compared to the other two towns that I've showed you, but still pretty reasonable given the low cost of living. Looks like we got a church right here. Yeah, Presbyterian church. That is a cool looking house, isn't it? Crime here, last year 2.6 incidents per 100 people. USA's 2.1, so a little bit high. That's pretty nice, isn't it? Median home value here, $124,600. Yeah, houses are a bit higher here, but you can see it. They're real nice. This is the first grocery store of any kind that I've seen so far in any of the towns. Haven't even seen any Dollar Generals, which is really unusual out here in rural America. Another shot of the beautiful downtown. The streets of this town mostly look like this. Yeah, it's real pretty. This is a nice town. It's in good shape. All right, well, I think we've had enough here. Let's head to the next one. I am making my way into Dallas City, Illinois. Heading to downtown. Of course, I had to stop here because I am from Dallas, Texas. So I had to see what a different Dallas looks like. No, the town's not named after my city. It's named after George Dallas, a former vice president of this United States. As you can see, I'm about to go into downtown. So I'm going to drive through it. And there's a pretty major river on the other side. Have you guessed what it is yet? Maybe the most important and famous river of this country. The Mississippi. That's it, straight up ahead. This town was visited by Abraham Lincoln in 1858, and he gave a speech here. Yeah, there's a bit of a monument to him right there. And you come out here and there are houses right along the Mississippi River. Could you imagine living on the Mississippi River? That would be something, wouldn't it? Well, here's a map. Let me show you where I'm at. Wait a minute. Let's stop at the map. You see what I see? That's right. Cat sighting. Okay, back to the map. And then here's population history. 1980 peak population 1408. It's down to 805 in the last census. I'm just cruising down the road here. It is right on the very edge of the Mississippi. I would have never guessed to get this close to it. You know, along a kind of major road. Well, I don't know if you'd call this a major road, but anyway, it's one of the town's roads. Now, the town was founded after the railroad came. There's a railroad stop. And then not so much agriculture here as timber. This became a big timber producing area. Well, because the Mississippi's right there. So you could just load wood up on the barges and ship them up and down the river. And that's what they did. The median age of this town is 55. It's a bit older, isn't it? It's got some pretty nice old houses here. 90% of this town is white, 7% Hispanic, 1% Pacific Islander. That's a bit unexpected. The rest is mixed race or other. The town has a couple of significant buildings as far as architecture and their history. Not so much that one, but this right here is the old Dallas High School. It is on the National Register. Man, that is in bad shape, isn't it? Wow. Yeah, that's too bad. I don't know if there's any saving that. Yeah, I like the houses along Main Street. Very classic small town, isn't it? Small town America. This is the other significant architectural structure. This is the Berg Mansion, sometimes called the Berg House. And like the high school, it was fallen into disrepair, but someone saw it. I want to say 10 years ago, I think I read. Fell in love with it and has been restoring it. And you can't blame him. That is beautiful. So I believe it's a private residence currently. Median household income, $63,056 a year. That's $12.13 a week. Not bad, huh? That's with a cost of living of 85, 15% lower than the rest of the U.S. Yeah, I really like the look of the houses here. Right? That's pretty awesome, isn't it? Let me give you poverty. 16.4% overall. That's not too bad, but look at school-age children. 56. Wow. Over half the kids here live in poverty. 65 and older is not bad. It's 5%. Crime here, 1 incident per 100 people. USA is 2.1, so crime here is low. It's the lowest of the town so far by a large margin. And as I'm driving through the street, Let me give you median home value. Let me pass this one first. $90,000. Yeah, not too bad, huh? I'm driving into La Harpe, Illinois. As you can see, I'm driving into downtown. This small city was named after Bernard de La Harpe. He was a French trapper and explorer. He is the guy who named Little Rock, Arkansas. Little Rock was founded by the French, by his team. He spent a winter here, and that's what started the town's development, and so it was named after him. Well, here's a map. Let me show you where I'm at. Population history, way back in 1900, there were 1591 people here. Last census down to 1175. Well, one street off downtown. First thing I see. It's pretty nice, huh? Median age of the town is 42. 94% of it is white, 2% is Hispanic, rest is mixed race or other. They have a Carnegie Library here. This is it. Built in 1905. Yeah, it's a beauty. And right next to the library is City Hall. And that is an awesome building as well. And then there's the post office. Yeah, agriculture drives the economy now, as you can see. Olive Ann Oatman was born here. She lived here till she was 14. Now most of you, I'm guessing, saw my video that I did last February in Arizona, where I visited the town of Oatman, Arizona. That town was named after her. She and her family got in a covered wagon. This is early 1800s, I believe, and left here, went to, well, on their way to Oatman, Arizona, they were massacred, her family massacred by Apache Indians, and only she and her younger sister were left alive. They were enslaved. The rest of the family was killed, except for their brother. He survived. They thought he was dead, the Apache Indians, but he was not. Anyway, she was, and her sister, enslaved by the Apache Indians for, I think, 4 years. Her sister eventually died, or she died during that time. And then when Olive was 18, she was freed. So that was quite a story. Anyway, if you guys remember that video, this is the town that she was born in before that all happened. A very small, what used to be a house, falling apart now. Yeah, I saw some interesting additions to this mobile home. Put themselves a little garage on it. Looks like I added a room. Let's see. Let me give you the median household income. $49,205 a year. It's $946 a week. Cost of living's in 83, 17% lower than the rest of the U.S. Well, this property has a lot of room. That is a really interesting looking house. All right, let me give you poverty. 12.9 overall. School-age children, 16%. Retirement age folks, 10%. All right. Median home value, $86,400. All right, everyone. So that's going to be it for here in Illinois. Up next, Nicole and I are going to head into Iowa. She will be in that one. So, yeah, we will see you next Saturday.